you've finally made it on board. The music's playing, your luggage can wait, and that all-you-can-eat cruise buffet is calling your name. But hold on, because that first plate could be the start of your worst cruise nightmare. From passengers who got banned from the buffet to those who spent port days in the medical center. These mistakes are shockingly common, and they can ruin your vacation before it even begins. Stay tuned as we count down 25 cruise buffet mistakes that could ruin your trip. And trust me, mistake number 9 is one even experienced cruisers fall for. Rushing to the buffet during peak times. Big mistake number 1. Rushing straight to the buffet the second you board the ship. Most passengers do it. They drop their bags, skip the sail-away deck, and head straight for that all-you-can-eat paradise. But here's the catch. Everyone else has the same idea. By noon, the buffet turns into a floating food frenzy. Lines snake around the salad bar. People circle tables like vultures, looking for an empty seat, and the food that looked amazing in the brochure. It's now picked over and cold. You'll find yourself eating lukewarm fries and mystery pasta while balancing a tray on your lap. Cruise insiders know this is the worst way to start your vacation. You'll be hot, stressed, and already frustrated before your cabin is even ready. Not exactly the relaxed bon voyage you imagined. And here is something most new cruisers don't realize: those same buffet dishes get refreshed every 15 to 20 minutes. By 2:30 p.m., the crowds are gone, and everything's freshly set out again. Do this instead. When you board, grab a drink, explore the ship, or drop by a smaller venue like the cafe or pool grill. Then hit the buffet once the initial rush clears. You'll get better food, a better seat, and the calm, relaxed start your cruise deserves. Assuming the buffet is open 24/7. Here's a shocker. The cruise buffet is not open all day and night, no matter what you've heard. Most first-time cruisers step on board thinking the buffet is a 24-hour, non-stop food paradise. But here's the truth. Almost every line from Royal Caribbean to Carnival to MSC shuts the buffet down several times a day. Picture this. It's 3:45 p.m. You skipped lunch because you were unpacking, and now you're starving. You head up to the Lido deck expecting hot pizza and burgers, and instead you find half-empty trays, cleaning carts, and crew members blocking the entrance with closed for changeover signs. The smell of food is still in the air, but nothing's left to eat. Why does this happen? Buffets reset between breakfast, lunch, and dinner to meet strict health and safety rules. Food has to be swapped, surfaces sanitized, and stations reset. If you wander in during that dead zone, you'll either end up disappointed or paying extra at a specialty venue. The insider move. Check your cruise compass or app every morning. It lists exact buffet hours and late-night alternatives. Many ships offer hidden snack zones like Carnival's 24-hour Pizza Pirate or Royal Caribbean's Caf Promenade that stay open when the main buffet closes. Plan your meals around those windows and you'll never get caught hungry again. Remember, the smartest cruisers know timing the buffet is just as important as finding it. Ignoring buffet hygiene. This one's a silent cruise killer. Ignoring buffet hygiene might seem harmless until it's not. Every ship, from Carnival to Norwegian, serves thousands of passengers a day. And with that many hands touching serving spoons, trays, and counters, it only takes one careless person to spread germs faster than the ship's Wi-Fi. You've seen it. Someone sneezes, wipes their nose, then grabs the tongs. Another passenger uses their hands to pick up a roll just to check how soft it is. Or worse, a parent lets their kid grab food directly from the tray. By day 3, you start hearing it: coughs, sniffles, and the phrase no cruiser ever wants to hear. There's a virus going around. Cruise lines work overtime to prevent outbreaks, but hygiene is a two-way street. The moment you skip the sanitizer station or grab utensils with bare hands, you're not just risking your meal, you're risking your whole trip. And here's the scary part. Once an outbreak starts, ships can lock down self-serve stations for the rest of the voyage. No more buffets, no more freedom. Do this instead. Every time you approach the buffet, hit those hand wash or sanitizer stations, both before and after eating. Bring your own mini sanitizer. Use napkins when handling utensils, and avoid anything that's been sitting too long. Stay clean, stay sharp, and you'll stay healthy enough to enjoy every port, every cocktail, and every midnight dessert bar without a single worry. Mounting a food pyramid on one plate. We've all seen it. The towering buffet plate, a mountain of shrimp, pizza, pasta, salad, and maybe even a slice of chocolate cake balanced on top. It looks impressive, until it all collapses into one soggy mess. Most passengers think, I'm on vacation, I'll just try a little of everything. But here's the truth. Overloading your plate is one of the biggest buffet blunders on any cruise ship. By the time you finally sit down, half your food is cold. Sauces have mixed, and flavors are ruined. That perfectly grilled salmon, now swimming in ranch dressing. The dessert, soaked in curry sauce, appetite gone. And it's not just about food quality, it's about respect. Crew members work hard to keep stations clean and stocked. When passengers overload plates and waste food, it slows down service for everyone else. On some ships, waste levels are even monitored, and repeat offenders can be quietly reported. Here's the insider's secret most cruisers miss. Buffets refresh their dishes every 15 to 20 minutes. You don't need to hoard food like it's the Last Supper at sea. Do this instead. Start small. Take 1 or 2 dishes you really want to try. Eat, enjoy, then go back for seconds or thirds. Once you know what's actually good, you'll eat fresher food, waste less, and look like a seasoned cruiser, not a first-day free-for-all rookie. Forgetting to grab a drink first, this is the easiest mistake to make and the most annoying to fix. You've just loaded up your plate with a feast fit for a captain. Prime rib, shrimp, pasta, dessert. You find a seat, sit down, and realize there's no drink, not a drop. Now you're stuck. You can leave your food unattended. It'll get cleared in minutes, but you thirsty, and the drink station is all the way across the buffet. So, you try to juggle your full plate and your cup. Cue the comedy. Spilled soda, sloshed soup, maybe even a dropped plate. It happens constantly. Most cruisers rush straight to the food, forgetting that the beverage stations are often located far from the main buffet area. And on busy days, those drink lines are just as long as the food ones. Here's the bigger issue: dehydration. Between salty foods, sea air, and poolside cocktails, your body's working overtime. Forgetting to hydrate can lead to headaches, dizziness, or worse, seasickness that ruins your first full day. Cruise veterans know this trick. The meal flows better when you start with your drink. It saves you trips, messes, and frustration. Do this instead. Before you grab your plate, swing by the beverage station first. Fill up your glass, water, soda, whatever you prefer, and keep it handy. Then load your food. You'll move smoother through the buffet, enjoy your meal hot, and stay refreshed the smart way. Not taking food allergies seriously, this one can turn a dream cruise into a medical nightmare. Most passengers assume cruise buffets are totally safe, that every dish is clearly labeled, and crew will automatically warn you about allergens. But here's the truth: mistakes happen, and sometimes those small ingredient cards don't tell the full story. Imagine this: a passenger on Norwegian Cruise Line saw a chicken curry sign and thought it was harmless. What the label didn't mention: crushed peanuts in the sauce. Within minutes, they were in the ship's medical center, missing the sail-away party and facing a hefty medical bill, all because they trusted the label instead of asking. Even on major lines like Royal Caribbean or Carnival, ingredient swaps and last-minute substitutions happen constantly. A sauce may contain shellfish stock, a salad might have hidden nuts. Even the bread rolls could have dairy brushed on top. And because cruise kitchens prepare food in bulk, cross-contamination is a real risk. Here's what experienced cruisers do differently. They never assume. They talk to the head waiter, the chef, or the buffet supervisor. Crew members are trained to help. They'll gladly show you safe options or even prepare a fresh, allergen-free plate just for you. Do this instead. If you have any allergies or dietary restrictions, notify the cruise line before boarding and double-check with staff at every meal. Better safe than sorry, because nothing ruins a trip faster than an avoidable trip to the infirmary. Overloading on bread before the main course. It smells amazing. You walk into the buffet, and there it is, a glowing basket of freshly baked rolls, garlic knots, and croissants calling your name. You grab one, then another, and before you know it, you're halfway full before you've even seen the main course. Most passengers don't realize that cruise ships are masters of food psychology. That irresistible bread section. It's there to slow down the crowds, keep guests satisfied while main dishes rotate, and quietly reduce food waste. But here's the catch: by the time your entree hits the plate, your appetite's already sunk like an anchor. It's not just about fullness, it's about fatigue. Cruise buffets are loaded with rich, salty, high-carb foods. When you start heavy, you'll crash faster, feel bloated, and lose steam for the rest of the day. Not ideal when you've got a sail-away party or a late-night show ahead. The cruise sees it every voyage. Guests loading up on rolls, then pushing half their entrees away. And once that happens, your food experience nosedives. Here's what veteran cruisers know: the buffet is a marathon, not a sprint. Those breads will always be there. Do this instead. Treat bread like a side, not a starter. Take one roll, maybe two if it's irresistible, and move on to the main dishes. Save your stomach for the good stuff, like carving station roasts, themed dinners, or that legendary dessert table waiting at the end. Only exploring one side of the buffet. Here's a rookie mistake that costs you flavor, time, and sanity. Most passengers walk into the buffet, pick the first line they see, and never realize there's a mirror layout on the other side. Yep, cruise buffets are often designed with identical food stations on both ends to manage the flow. But new cruisers don't know that. They see a long line for pancakes or bacon and assume that's the only place to get it. Meanwhile, 5 steps away on the other side, zero line, fresh food, empty tables. Crew members see it constantly. One side packed like rush hour, the other quiet enough to hear the waves. It's almost comical. And here's the real frustration. While you're standing in line for 20 minutes, your food options are cooling and prime seating is slipping away. Experienced cruisers always do a buffet walkthrough before committing to a plate. They scout the layout, spot hidden stations, omelet corners, carving tables, dessert bars, and figure out which side is moving faster. It's the difference between chaos and calm. Most importantly, this trick helps you find the freshest food because the least crowded stations get replenished more often. Do this instead. When you hit the buffet, take a full lap first. Don't grab a plate yet, just explore. You'll spot shortcuts, fresher trays, and overlooked favorites. It's a simple move that instantly separates first-timers from seasoned sailors. Neglecting healthy choices and smart seasoning, here's a truth no one wants to admit. After 3 days of cruise buffet indulgence, most passengers hit the wall. That endless pizza, fried chicken, and dessert bar. It catches up fast. By midweek, you're sluggish, bloated, and blaming the ship's motion when it's really the overload of salt, sugar, and grease. Cruise buffets are a paradise of temptation. But what most guests don't realize is that every ship from Carnival to Royal Caribbean hides plenty of healthy, flavorful options right in plain sight. You just have to look for them. There's always a salad bar with fresh greens, lean proteins like grilled chicken or fish, and smart seasoning choices that can turn a boring meal into a fresh, energizing one. Lemon wedges, olive oil, and herbs can add flavor without weighing you down. But here's the catch. Most people skip them completely because they are distracted by the fun foods. By day 4, that mistake catches up. You feel heavy, your energy dips, and even walking around port feels like a chore. The secret pros know. Balance is everything. Enjoy the fun foods, but mix in something fresh every meal. You'll feel better, sleep better, and make the most of your cruise instead of crashing halfway through. Do this instead. Each time you hit the buffet, make one plate rule, half indulgence, half fuel. Add fruits, greens, or protein before dessert. You'll thank yourself when you're dancing at midnight instead of napping by noon. Not asking about freshly prepared items, most passengers have no idea how much fresh food they're missing. They see trays of scrambled eggs, piles of bacon, and think, that's what's available. But here's the insider truth. Cruise buffets constantly rotate fresh batches, and some of the best dishes are made on demand if you just ask. Take breakfast, for example. While everyone's fighting over lukewarm pancakes, there's often a made-to-order omelet station hidden at the back. At dinner, that carving station or pasta counter can prepare dishes right in front of you. Yet most guests never ask. They assume what's in front of them is all there is. Here's what really happens behind the scenes. Kitchen crews refresh trays and cycles to keep things hot and safe. But when it's busy, some items sit longer than others. If you catch the tail end of a batch, your food might be dry, overcooked, or simply not at its best. The smart cruisers, the ones who eat like royalty every voyage, know the secret. They make friends with the crew. They smile, ask politely, and say, "Any chance a new tray's coming out soon?" 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes, and you'll get first dibs on the freshest batch. Do this instead. Don't be shy. Whether it's fresh fries, a new tray of shrimp, or a hot dessert, ask when the next batch hits. A little patience and kindness goes a long way toward a much better buffet experience. Skipping dessert and regretting it, here's a mistake you'll only make once. You finish your main course, feeling stuffed and satisfied. You tell yourself, "I'll skip dessert today, I've had enough." Big mistake, because on a cruise ship, skipping dessert means missing out on one of the best parts of the entire dining experience. Cruise buffets aren't just about food, they're about timing, and desserts are a production. The pastry chefs roll out new items throughout the meal, sometimes saving the real showstoppers for later. Carnival's famous molten lava cakes. They often appear halfway through dinner. Royal Caribbean's fresh fruit tarts. Only after the first rush. So, when you walk away early, thinking you're being good, you're actually missing the highlight. And once they're gone, they're gone. No second chances. By the time you circle back, that triple-layer mousse or warm bread pudding will have vanished, replaced by empty trays and sticky fingers. Here's the insider secret. Desserts on cruise ships are made in limited batches. That's how they stay fresh, moist, and perfectly portioned. So if you don't time it right, you miss out on the best of the best. Do this instead. Always take a quick dessert lap before you commit to your main meal. See what's coming, ask the crew if more is on the way, and save a little room. You will thank yourself when that warm chocolate cake melts in your mouth, not in someone else's memory. Mixing foods that should never share a plate. Let's be honest, not everything belongs together on one plate. You've seen it happen. Curry next to cheesecake, mac and cheese swimming beside a Caesar salad, and ice cream slowly melting into mashed potatoes. It's the cruise buffet version of culinary chaos. Most passengers do it without thinking. They want to try everything, so they stack hot and cold, sweet and savory, spicy and sugary, all touching, all steaming together under one confused layer of gravy. But here's the problem. Buffets are designed for sampling, not stacking. Once those flavors mix, nothing tastes right. The curry overwhelms the salad, the sauce ruins the dessert, and suddenly that beautiful plate looks like something out of a food fight. Crew members see it every day. Guests taking one bite and walking away, leaving full plates behind. And that's not just wasteful, it's also how you end up missing out on the dishes that actually deserve your attention. You'll never know how good the chef's roast or seafood pasta was because it got drowned in chocolate sauce from dessert number 3. The cruise pros know better. They treat the buffet like a tasting menu, not a tower challenge. Do this instead. Grab multiple plates and separate your courses, one for savory, one for sweet. Enjoy each bite the way it was meant to be. You'll experience cleaner flavors, fresher food, and a meal worthy of the ocean view you're sailing past. Skipping themed dishes and special events. Here's one of the biggest hidden regrets among cruise foodies. Skipping the themed buffet nights. Every major cruise line does them. Seafood night, Caribbean night, Italian celebration, even chocolate extravaganza. But most passengers miss them entirely because they stick to the same comfort foods every day. You'd be surprised how many people are sitting there eating pizza and fries while the chefs are serving lobster tails and tiramisu one station over. These themes are where the culinary teams really flex, using recipes inspired by ports of call, regional traditions, and chef specialties you won't find anywhere else on the ship. But here's the catch: they're one night only. Miss it, and it's gone. No repeats, no second chances. Crew members will tell you, the people who skip these nights are usually the ones asking the next day, "Hey, when's the seafood buffet?" Sorry, it sailed away last night. Skipping themed events means missing out on the kind of food moments you'll actually remember. Those special nights are designed to make your cruise feel bigger than just another meal. Do this instead. Check your daily planner like the cruise compass, or fun times every morning. Highlight any themed dinners or food events, and plan your evening accordingly. Even if you're not a seafood lover, try something new. Who knows? That themed dish might end up being your favorite cruise memory. Skipping local dishes on port days. Here's a secret most cruisers completely miss. The buffet actually changes on port days, and it's often the freshest, most authentic food you'll get on board. When your ship docks in Cozumel, Santorini, or St. Thomas, the culinary team uses local ingredients picked up from port suppliers or prepped for themed menus inspired by the region. It's their way of bringing the destination to your plate. But here's the problem: most passengers never notice. They head straight for the same old burgers, fries, or pasta, while the buffet quietly rolls out fresh fish tacos, Greek gyros, or Caribbean jerk chicken just a few steps away. By the time they realize it, the best dishes are gone, and so is the chance to taste the culture you came to explore. Even worse, many cruisers skip the buffet entirely on port days because they're planning to eat ashore. But here's the catch: sometimes local restaurants are packed, overpriced, or just not that great. Meanwhile, the ship's chefs are serving incredible region-inspired meals for free, right on board. Crew insiders say the port day menus are their favorites to prepare, and they re-often some of the best meals of the whole cruise. Do this instead. Before heading out, glance at the buffet preview or ask the staff what local dishes are featured that day. Try at least one. You'll experience authentic flavors without forgetting to pace yourself over multiple days. Here's the truth no one tells you: the buffet isn't a one-night event, it's a 7-day marathon. And yet, most cruisers treat day one like it's their last meal on Earth. You've seen it: guests piling plates sky-high, sampling every dessert, and going back for seconds before they've even unpacked. The excitement is real. You've waited months for this trip, and the food looks endless. But here's the problem: that I'll try everything now mindset is a fast track to buffet burnout. By day 3, you're sluggish, full, and dreading another heavy meal. By day 5, you're skipping breakfast entirely. And by the last night, you're staring at the chocolate fountain with zero enthusiasm. It's not that the food got worse, it's that you didn't pace yourself. Cruise pros plan their eating strategy like a shore excursion, smart and steady. They know menus rotate daily, and many of the best dishes only appear midweek. Overeating early just means missing out later. Even crew members pace themselves. They know when the carving station hits peak quality, or when dessert night lands mid-cruise. Do this instead. Think long game. Sample lightly on the first few days, especially during embarkation chaos. Save your big appetite for themed nights, chef specials, or sea days when you can truly enjoy them. Cruising is about indulgence, but pacing yourself ensures every meal feels like the first, not the 15th. Speed eating like you're late for a flight. This next one ruins more meals than bad weather ever could. Speed eating, rushing through your food like you're catching a connection in Miami. It's one of the easiest cruise buffet mistakes to make, and one of the hardest to undo once it becomes a habit. Here's how it happens. You finally grab your food after waiting in line. You sit down, and your mind's already racing. The trivia starts in 10 minutes. The pool looks amazing. I don't want to miss the sail-away party. So you inhale everything on your plate like it's a competition. But here's the truth: eating fast at sea doesn't save you time. It just ruins the moment. You won't taste half the flavors the chefs worked to create. And worse, your body doesn't have time to adjust, so that post-meal bloat hits hard. Combine that with gentle ship motion, and you've just signed up for nausea, heartburn, or seasickness, the unholy buffet trio. Veteran cruisers do the opposite. They treat buffet dining like part of the experience. They sip, savor, chat, and let the ship's rhythm slow them down. Do this instead. Once you sit down, pause, take a deep breath, enjoy the view, and eat like you've got nowhere else to be. Cruise meals aren't a race, they're part of the journey. You'll digest better, feel lighter, and enjoy every bite without missing a single memory that matters. Using the wrong serving utensils, this mistake might seem small, but it drives the crew absolutely crazy. You're at the buffet, ready to serve yourself a little shrimp cocktail. You grab the nearest spoon, scoop it up, and move on. No harm, right? Wrong, you may have just contaminated the entire tray. Here's what most passengers don't realize. Each buffet dish has its own dedicated utensil for a reason. Mixing them up, or worse, using your plate or fingers spreads germs, sauces, and allergens across multiple items. That shrimp spoon, it can't touch the salad bar. The tongs for bread never mix with the fruit station. Crew members see it all the time. Someone accidentally drops a spoon into the wrong tray, and now an entire batch of food has to be tossed for safety. That's wasted food, wasted time, and extra work for the galley staff trying to keep things clean and compliant. And here's the kicker. On some cruise lines, if cross-contamination happens too often, they'll temporarily shut down self-serve areas and switch to crew service only. Translation: slower lines, fewer choices, and longer waits. All because of a simple utensil mistake. Do this instead. Always use the serving tool that belongs to the dish in front of you, even if it means waiting a few extra seconds. And if something drops, alert a crew member immediately. They'll appreciate it, and you'll help keep the buffet running smoothly for everyone on board. Breaking basic buffet etiquette: nothing turns a calm cruise buffet into chaos faster than bad manners. You know the type. The passenger who cuts in line just to grab one thing, or the one who reaches over your plate because they just need the tongs. It happens on every ship, every sailing, and it's one of the quickest ways to annoy hundreds of hungry cruisers at once. Here's the deal. Buffets have unspoken rules. There's a flow, a rhythm. You start at one end, move forward, and respect the people around you. But when someone jumps the line or hovers too long over the shrimp, tension builds fast. Crew members have seen actual arguments break out over a slice of pizza or a serving of bacon, and trust me, that's not how you want to spend your vacation. Even small things count, like using your hands instead of tongs, blocking aisles with strollers, or saving multiple tables while others are still looking for a seat. These aren't just rude, they slow down service for everyone. The most respected cruisers, the ones the staff actually smile at, know buffet etiquette inside and out. They move smoothly, stay courteous, and make the experience better for the people behind them. Do this instead. Always join the line from the beginning. Keep your pace steady, and be aware of others. If you drop something or spill, let a crew member know. Simple manners go a long way, especially when you're resharing a dining room with thousands of fellow travelers. Getting lost in the buffet maze: if you've ever wandered a cruise buffet feeling like you're trapped in a food labyrinth, you're not alone. Buffet layouts on big ships, especially Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, or MSC, are designed for flow, not simplicity. But to a hungry cruiser, they can feel like a maze of stations, trays, and circular paths that all start to look the same. Here's what happens. You grab a plate, walk halfway through, see something amazing, but your table's on the opposite side. You think, I'll just circle back. 10 minutes later, you're lost in a sea of passengers. Your food's cold, and your family's wondering if you fell overboard. Crew members see this constantly. Families split up trying to grab different items, only to spend half the meal searching for each other. Meanwhile, that beautiful buffet meal becomes a stressful game of hide-and-seek. And it's not just inconvenient. Wandering aimlessly means your food gets cold, your drinks go flat, and your table might even get cleared before you return. Cruise pros handle it differently. They plan before they plate. They scout the layout once, decide where to sit, and move efficiently through the stations. Do this instead. Before you grab a plate, walk the entire buffet. Pick a meeting point, especially if you're dining with family or kids, and agree on a seating area first. Then, grab your food in one smooth loop. You'll eat fresher, stay calmer, and never lose your table or your appetite again. Taking buffet food outside the dining area: this one catches more passengers off guard than you'd think. You've finished a long day at port, you're tired, and all you want is to grab a plate of food from the buffet and relax in your cabin. Seems harmless, right? Unfortunately, on most cruise lines, that's a big no-no. Here's the catch. Health and safety rules on ships are very strict. Taking buffet food outside the dining area, especially uncovered, can lead to spills, contamination, or unwanted critters in your cabin. And yes, even on luxury ships, crumbs attract pests. Crew members have seen it all. melted ice cream in hallways, sauce-covered stair rails, and plates abandoned in elevators. Taking buffet food outside the dining area. It's not just messy, it's a sanitation hazard. On some ships, passengers caught repeatedly taking plates out of the buffet can actually be warned or fined. And if things get really bad, it triggers a deep clean protocol that shuts down sections of the dining area for hours. Now, here's the secret the pros know. You can take food elsewhere if you do it the right way. Most ships have approved takeout zones like the cafe, pool, grill, or room service menu for in-cabin dining. Do this instead. If you want to snack in your room, use the ship's designated takeaway options or ask a crew member for a covered container. Some ships offer them on request. Respect the rules, and you'll stay out of trouble and out of the cleaning crew's bad books. Turning the buffet into a photo shoot, we get it. Cruise buffets are beautiful. The desert displays look like art. The carving station glistens under perfect lighting, and your plate could make Gordon Ramsay jealous. But here's the hard truth. Turning the buffet into your personal photo shoot. It's one of the fastest ways to irritate both passengers and crew. You've seen it. Someone blocking the dessert table, phone out, trying to get the perfect angle of a cheesecake tower, or the influencer lining up a slow-motion pour of chocolate sauce while the line behind them grows restless. Sure, the photos might look amazing on Instagram, but in real life, people are waiting, food's cooling, and the vibe turns from fun to frustrated. Crew members work non-stop to keep buffets looking pristine, spotless counters, balanced displays, and fresh trays. The longer someone hovers, snapping pictures, the more time that food sits under lights, drying out and losing freshness. And here's the irony. While you're staging your perfect shot, the best food gets taken by the people behind you. Cruise veterans don't make that mistake. They capture memories, not chaos. A quick picture or video, totally fine, but staging a photo shoot, save it for your stateroom balcony, not the buffet line. Do this instead. Snap a quick shot from your table or take one fast photo when it's your turn, then move on. You'll still get that gorgeous food pic and keep the good vibes and the hot meals flowing for everyone. Dressing like you just got out of the pool, this one catches people off guard, and it's more serious than you think. You've just come from the pool, towel around your shoulders, swimsuit still dripping, and you think, I'll just swing by the buffet for a quick bite. But as soon as you reach the entrance, you're stopped. Buffet staff on every major cruise line, from Royal Caribbean to Carnival, are trained to turn guests away if they're wearing swimwear, no shirts, or bare feet. And they not doing it to be rude. It's a health and safety rule. Wet floors mean slips. Bare skin near open food. Hygiene violation. Still, it happens dozens of times a day. Passengers argue, roll their eyes, or even try to sneak in through side doors. Crew members stay polite, but it's awkward for everyone, especially when they have to say no in front of a crowd. The cruise buffet might feel casual, but it's still a dining area, and safety comes first. Even a little pool, water dripping onto the floor can cause someone to slip while carrying a hot plate. The seasoned cruisers know this by heart. You can go from pool to plate, just not in swimwear. Do this instead. Always throw on dry clothes or a cover-up before heading to the buffet. Keep a light t-shirt or sundress in your beach bag so you can transition easily. It's quick, respectful, and saves you the embarrassment of getting turned away while everyone else walks in hungry and happy. Leaving valuables on the table. Here's something few cruisers think about until it's too late. You grab your food, find a seat, and realize you forgot a drink or napkin. You leave your sunglasses, phone, or wallet on the table, just for a second, but when you come back, it's gone. It happens more often than you'd expect. Cruise ships are safe, but buffets are busy. Thousands of people moving in and out every hour. Tables are constantly cleared by crew, and if something valuable looks abandoned, it can disappear fast. Sometimes a cleaner assumes it's lost and sends it to guest services. Other times, it's simply gone. Imagine spending the rest of your cruise canceling credit cards or replacing your sunglasses instead of enjoying that sunset cocktail. Not exactly the vacation memory you wanted. Even if nothing's stolen, the risk is real. The buffet isn't your cabin, it's a public space. Phones get knocked off tables, wallets get cleared with trays, and earbuds vanish under napkins. Crews see it daily. Cruise veterans know better. They travel light when dining. Just the basics. Cruise card, drink, maybe a small crossbody bag. Everything else stays locked up. Do this instead. Never leave valuables unattended at the buffet, even just for a second. If you're grabbing another drink or dessert, take your essentials with you or ask a travel companion to stay put. The buffet is about food, not worry, so keep your valuables safe and your focus where it belongs. On your next plate, letting kids run wild at the buffet. Here's a scene every cruiser has witnessed, and every parent dreads. A couple of excited kids sprinting between buffet lines, bumping trays, grabbing cookies with their hands, and darting under tables while parents look the other way. It might seem innocent, they're just having fun, right? But on a crowded ship buffet, it's a recipe for chaos. Buffet areas are some of the busiest spaces on board. Crew carry hot trays, guests balance plates and drinks, and the floor can get slippery fast. A running child in that mix isn't just a distraction, it's a safety hazard. Crew members have seen spills, burns, and close calls that could have easily been avoided. And then there's hygiene. Tiny hands exploring everything on the dessert table might be adorable at home, but on a cruise ship serving thousands, not so much. Even one careless moment can ruin the experience for everyone around. Cruise staff are trained to step in politely, but it's never comfortable. Parents often feel embarrassed, and the kids don't understand why they're being told off by a stranger. Seasoned cruising families handle it differently. They treat the buffet like an experience, not a playground. Do this instead. Before you even enter the buffet, set ground rules. Walk, use tongs, stay close. Let kids pick their own food with supervision. It makes them feel grown up and keeps things orderly. Cruise buffets can be magical for families, but only when everyone is sailing on the same page. Forgetting to thank the buffet staff, this last one might seem small, but it's the one that matters most. Every meal you enjoy on board, every fresh plate, spotless table, and refilled drink, exists because of a team of crew members who never stop working behind the scenes. They're the invisible heartbeat of your buffet experience, and most passengers never even look them in the eye. While guests are relaxing, these crew members are on 10 to 12-hour shifts, clearing tables, restocking trays, and sanitizing stations hundreds of times a day. They remember faces. They remember who smiles, who's polite, and yes, who never says thank you. Here's something insiders know. Kindness travels fast at sea. A simple thanks or a genuine compliment can go further than you think. Some passengers even leave a small tip or note of appreciation, and those little gestures stick. Crew often say that one kind word from a guest can turn their entire day around. And here's the bonus: when you treat the staff well, they treat you even better. You'll get inside tips about when fresh batches come out, where to find quiet tables, or which nights feature the chef's secret specials. Do this instead. Every time you dine, take 2 seconds to thank the crew member who clears your table or refills your drink. Look them in the eye, smile, and show appreciation. You'll not only brighten their day, you'll make your own cruise experience infinitely better. And there you have it, 225 cruise buffet mistakes that could ruin your trip. Some of them are funny, some are shocking, and a few are downright painful to learn the hard way. But now, you're ahead of 90% of passengers who still make them on their next sailing. Remember, the buffet isn't just about food, it's about freedom, timing, and knowing those little insider tricks that separate the rookies from the real cruisers. Avoid these mistakes, and you'll enjoy every meal fresh, relaxed, and stress-free, the way cruise life was meant to be. If this video helped you, hit like. It tells YouTube you want more cruise tips just like this. Subscribe if you love cruising, because we've got new videos dropping every week, packed with secrets the cruise lines don't tell you.